Hello, good morning friends. Today we discuss about operators. So in the previous session we discussed relational operators. Sorry, in the previous session we discussed arithmetic operators and as well as increment and decrement operators. So the rest of the operators we discuss in further sessions like these operators already we given in a like whatever the notations we have in a those operators we seen. Once again I will let you know that. So these are the operators we have in C. So what are the notations we have for our so this is the operators we have in C. So all the operators are represented in symbolic notation. Only the size of operators look like in a function. Okay. So we finished this one. We already completed this one. The rest of the operators except bitwise operator, the remaining things nothing but whatever the things we used like assignment operator, relation operator, logical, conditional, special operators, and this special operator also I discussed in further sessions. Okay, in the uh, in the future classes we will discuss special operators. Okay, so I will discuss these four by using a next concept like in a conditional statements and conditional loops. For you, in the we will see in a deep way. So whenever we go for conditions applying at that time we need to do some operators we need to use. So okay, so already we did. So next one we need assignment, relational, logical and conditional. These things I discussed in a conditional loops and conditional statements, and bitwise operator, special operator I will discuss in a further session. Okay, next. So the next concept is what? Conditional conditional statements. Conditional statements. In conditional statements, in C, we have a 5 conditional statements we have. If conditional statement, if conditional statement, if else conditional statement, if else conditional statement, if else. Next one is nested if. Nested if conditional statement. Next one is what? Else if ladder. Else if ladder. Next one is switch. Next one is switch. So these are the 5 conditional statements we have in a C. So what is the next concept for the after this? After this we have in a conditional loops. So what is the conditional loops we will discuss, not a problem. And in conditional loops we have in a do while. We have in a do while. Next one is while. After that for. So these are the 3 concepts we have in a conditional loops. Okay. So in deeply we start from conditional statements. Conditional statements. So in C program everything is in a structured format. So that is the reason we have a syntax for these all those things. So what are the syntaxes we have and what type of example we need to discuss? We need to start now. Okay, fine. So here my first thing as an if conditional statement. If conditional if conditional statement syntax. Syntax is nothing but filter. If condition if condition, what type of condition you want to write, we will discuss what type of things we need to write. So after that conditional block, this we call it as an block, conditional block. So in this block we need to write some of statements or logical implementation, logical implementation, or uh, use use any functions. So whatever the things you want, you can do this here. Okay. Like that, we have a conditional statement of if conditional statement syntax. So we need to go with one example. We need to go with one example. Whenever I can go with the scenario, its Mustang should be true. Its Mustang should be true. So at the time we have a one example for that. We have one example for that. First example, hash include stdio dot h and void main. After that, I'm taking int a. So here I'm writing printf enter a value, enter a value, enter a value. Here we are using one reader function. I'm using one reader function, nothing but input function I'm using, that is scanf percentile d. Which format of input you are providing? Integer format. So that is the reason we are taking percentile d. And in which variable address you want to store that, in which variable address you will store that input. So I am providing, for an example, input 100. That 100 is need to stored in some memory location. That memory location having a variable name, and that memory location having an address. So in which variable name, in which address you are store that particular element. So that is the reason for addressing purpose we have one operator. We have in special operators we have one operator, nothing but ampersand. Ampersand is indicated for address. Ampersand is indicated for what? Address notation. In which address? A variable address. In a variable address, I need to store whatever I provided input. This is that statement meaning. Okay. After that, if whatever I entered a value, a not equals to 0, a not equals to 0, nothing but whatever the user entered information, nothing but now the input will be given from user only. So the user like given as an a not equals to 0. Not equals to 0 means it's not equals with an 0. So if is provided 0, this condition is not executed. This condition is not executed. So if is an enter 10, so the condition will be true. So this scenario, if the condition is going to be true, it will enter into the if block. It will enter into the if block. It will execute whatever the implementation we have inside if block. It will be execute. So if it is a condition going to be false, if the condition going to be false, at the time this will be directly jump into the after if block, nothing but it's never executed whenever it is false. Whenever it is true, then it will be execute. Whenever it is false, it's not execute of the if block. It will directly jump into that, nothing but it will skip all these lines and go to the down of the condition. Okay, the same way. For example, if the user enter some value, so whatever the value is entered, we need to see printf percentile d of a. I want to see. Then we need to close that. We need to close this if block. So after that, what we need to write? Get ch function. After that, close the board. So like that, we need to write. So this is the way we are writing our program. So if I am doing this program, what happened? We will see next. And one more thing, what operator I am using here? What is this? What operator that is? This word operator. Here specially I located this one. Not equals to. So we have an operator equals to, not equals to, less than, greater than, less than equals to, greater than equals to. So this is related to relational operator we used here. We use which thing we used? Relational. In this example, we are using two operators. Majorly, we used two operators. Those are address, nothing but special operators one, and another one is relational operator. Special operator and relational operator we used here. Okay, so go with example. So here we are taking a new file and we will start program. Hash include stdio dot h. So after that, void main. So after that, in a. So here I am entering a message. User need to enter some message. So that is the reason. Printf enter a value. So a value. The next statement is scanf. Scanf percentile d of address of a I am taking. So after that, after scanf, we are writing. After scanf, we are using if condition. What condition we are writing? A not equals to 0. A not equals to 0. So after that, we are writing printf percentile d comma a. Percentile d comma a. Next one is what? Close that conditional statement body block, and finally get ch. Then close the function. File save as f5.c. After saving this, we can go for compile the program. 0 warnings and 0 errors. Then run your program. So what it asking? Enter a value. Now you need to enter a value. For example, I am entering 67 is my a value. So click on enter again. So output will be shown as a 67. Okay. Then again enter, it will get back to the editor, and again compile, okay, and run. For an example, the previous output will be displayed. The previous output will be displayed here. So for this, I want to rectify some of problem. See here, enter a value. So now for an example, now I am taking enter 0. What happened? Will get any output? No, we are not getting any output. Again, go for run. If you run the same, for example 0 I am enter. Again we are not getting output. So if you run again and again, if I am entered 10, I will get an 10 as an output. Because of our logic we are writing if a not equals to 0. So then we can get it. Can get it. Best example. Some of people having a doubt like, sir, you are giving all ways positive numbers. For example, we can go with the negative numbers, minus 5. We can get minus 5. So it is not equals to 0. That's it. Whenever you entered 0, the output is not coming. So like that, we have an example. Okay. In the next session, we will see the rest of the conditional statements. And I hope all the people are getting a good idea for if conditional statement. Thank you. Have a nice day. If you are interested in my videos, please follow my channel, subscribe, click on bell icon, and please share, comment, and like below in the session. Thank you. Have a nice day.